Do you ever think, as you travel your spiritual journey, that it's just not worth it? Do you get to that point where there's just a mountain in front of you and you can't see around the other side to understand what's there? And everything in you goes, oh, just stop this and do something else. Well, we all do. And we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about denial and what that might mean to you when you come across these blockages. So, welcome to Shifting Realities. I'm Rob Perry, and here with me, as ever, is Julie Allison, my friend and co host. So, there you are at the bottom of your mountain, and you might enjoy being at the bottom of the mountain. You might enjoy the valleys and the streams, and you might have fun there. But this is a journey, a spiritual journey, and we have to get past that metaphorical mountain to find out what more there is, what more we need to learn, and what more we need to teach. So I've had a mountainous week this week. I've had health issues, computer issues, and just generally it's been a Blair week, which I'd frankly rather forget. And Julie, you've had not the best week either,
Yes,
if not as quite
exactly.
as
Mm,
bad as mine.
mm.
So do you think you are in any kind of denial when this happens to you? When you get
Mm.
to those ugh moments when you just can't be asked?
Do you know, I looked at
Yeah,
that, Rob, this week because, yes, I've had a challenging week with pets being poorly,
yeah.
and actually with some clients I've had, massage clients, where they've been in various forms, been in denial, not actually wanting to face or go to this, this point that we need to go to. So we thought it'd be really useful because it feels like it's a bit in the it feels like
Mm,
it's a good theme this week to help people, to say that we're in it as well, we're part of this as well, this thing where you just things have happened this week for me to go, is it all worth it? Do I really is there another path I can choose?
yeah.
Is there an easier path I can choose that doesn't involve putting myself out there? And then soul and higher self tells me off, and we just say that in the most loving way because we just like to have fun with the guides, even our own, even our own part of our multi-dimensional self. And it is all about, at the moment, us avoiding things. So we have to ask ourselves, what are you denying yourself of? And when you're denying yourself of not going into, it might be into the darkness, because opposing forces, we like to be in the light, we love, that's nice, all light and love and all hairy fairies, I want to say. But we sometimes just have to go and face the darkness. All it is, it's just the duality that humankind, human
Mm,
consciousness have decided to create for whatever reason. I think we're a bit bored. We wanted to create this for ourselves. And so it can be very challenging, but we need that courage inside us to first of all face what's going on, because it could be something, I'm going to say karmic, it could be something that we've created in a pattern for ourselves that keeps coming up, but it might keep coming up a little bit worse, a little bit worse, and a little bit worse, because that pattern could have just been something and nothing when we're younger, and then it will just feel, now we won't even see the distinction of that applying to what's happening to us now. But we really do, the guides are just showing us that we really do need to look into, to look into that point of why does this thing keep happening to me, or why can't I never, I don't know, move forward? um why am I always ill? What's this chronic illness for, just as one example? Because chronic illness can be all sorts of things,
mm,
but one piece of the jigsaw could be that I'm denying myself of forgiveness. Something that me and Rob just started talking about this morning was about forgiving, um, maybe other people, but first of all, we have to forgive ourselves. Something came up for both of us today where it was almost like kind of a infiltrating our sacred energy field of what we want to share with people. And we've, both of us kind of felt a bit attacked. But what the guides are showing us there is that when you have that kind of energy in you, maybe you've been attacking somebody else in your head. Even if you haven't gone out and said something, you might have that energy of, oh, what are they doing, and being very judgmental, instead of allowing everybody to be themselves. This is nothing to do with if somebody asks you for help, but if it's just something, something that somebody said, just allow them. Everybody has an entitlement to their own opinion and to their own experience as well. And so in a way, the guide was showing me of how to sit down and really study that which I was denying, and making it something separate and trying to put the blame on somebody. And it's just nothing like that. We just have to get through that and understand where, how we need to be, almost like behave in front of people. And just take example, a form of bullying. We know both Rob and I in the past have been victims of bullying, but what I've seen with other people with that, when you look into the past lives, the Akashic records, etc., that we might have been the bullies. So again, all of that we need to start forgiving ourselves and start healing from. And we would deny, wouldn't we? We would be in denial that, oh, I've never been a bully. I wouldn't be like that. But maybe our energy,
Hmm.
just because our soul wanted to experience things because of what's happened through contracts and through previous lives, it probably just has happened. Yet we're here right now, right at this moment on earth, to just heal through all of this. It's only that false karmic patterning, and we don't have to learn lessons. We just have to understand why it's happened. Don't have to go,
Hmm.
in the depths of it all, just why it's happened, and really just shift your belief system, shift that patterning by, almost really the thoughts that you think, that you're thinking. Do you agree, Rob?
Yeah, I would agree with you. When you do the kind of work we do, you're involved in healing and ascension, and call it what you will, we tend to work with a lot of compassion because that's the nature
Mm,
of the work. But I think we often forget to have compassion for ourselves.
mm,
And so when we bring, and we're multidimensional beings, so we carry baggage from all over the place, all times, all places that we can't necessarily understand. We might respond to, but we don't know where it comes from without doing quite a chunk of work on it. So it's really, really important not to wrap yourself in cotton wool, but to just stop beating yourself up. And yeah, guilty as charged. I beat myself up all the time and just think, oh, this isn't working. I can't do this. Just stop. And
mm.
then you have to just take that step back and go, hang on, a lot has worked. A lot is working. I'm just a little block at the minute. It's coming from somewhere. I can try to understand it when I've got time, but right now, just that's okay. That's really okay. And make a cup of tea, do something else for a bit, and then come back to it. It's really, really about understanding, and you said it earlier, Julia, that there is this thing called forgiveness.
Mm,
And if you carry some karma that isn't great, that's fine. Everybody carries some karma that isn't great.
mm.
You are responsible for it in the long term, but you honestly can forgive yourself that.
Yeah.
You forgive yourself for any damage you've done to other people or beings, and they can forgive you, and you have to accept it. Because when you're dealing with other dimensions, the forgiveness is instant.
Mm.
The reverse doesn't exist for them. They don't see any reason other than forgiveness. So we need to learn that lesson quite hard and apply it to ourselves, not just to other people. I think I'm really talking about ourselves now because you and I both experience blockages and both experience moments when we just want to chuck it in. But you
Yes.
have to just keep going
Yes.
forward.
Mm.
We know we have to keep going forward. And we know that we are challenged and that challenge is ascent. We know that. Last week, we both received challenges.
Yes.
Where did they
Mm.
come from? We can do some work on that.
Mm.
But they were challenges we did not request.
Yes.
And I'm
Consciously we
quite
did.
prepared to tell myself that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I can go forward. I just need to do a wee bit of work on myself quietly and just let this go.
Yes.
Easier
Definitely.
said than done, maybe, but it is
It
doable.
is. It is.
Yeah.
But if we think, Rob, I love that. I love what you were saying about that. And then if we think that if we are still in denial, if we avoid things, what happens? It, what I
Yeah.
would say, it feels the same. We're wanting to change our reality. We're wanting to, head towards over the mountain to the other side of the mountain or to the top of the mountain,
Hmm.
however we want to see that analogy. But we sit and we don't, we're still in denial, and we don't face the storm, don't face that
Yeah.
darkness if it comes to darkness. Or we just try something out and we give up far too easily, don't we? We give up. Even just somebody meditating. Oh, I can't meditate. I tried it twice and I tried it for 2 minutes and
Mm.
it didn't work. It's like, wow, we need to give it a little bit more time for that, because when the way of sitting in the stillness is a way of then coming into really owning the truth of who we are, and
Yeah.
then facing what we were denying ourselves, facing what we were avoiding. And when that
Yeah.
happens and we can understand things, and we shift our mindset to start with, shift our thoughts into what Rob was saying, into all the things that, the good things that have happened and why they've happened in life, and the things that we can use to take forward. That, when we then do take that forward, actually take action, because we've let go of everything, that we've forgiven other people. We haven't got that unforgiving. It's a dark energy, isn't it? It's a heavy, heavy
Hmm.
energy sat within our body. That's what it does. It sits within our body. And when we can let go of that and let go of anything else that we feel is keeping us stuck in this same old Groundhog Day, and then we take
Yeah.
action to move forward with all that release, that is when we get to the other side of the mountain or the top of the mountain, and that just
Sure is.
feels so much better, doesn't it? That's when we keep going. And what I love is, I've gone, me and Rob have got together this morning. My energy feels so much different because we've come into, let's call it a community or a tribe.
Hmm.
Your tribe doesn't have to be this one thing all the time. You can go and it's not, one of the other things that's come up today is about isolation, and we can sit in isolation, not liking the world, not liking the other people around us forever. And that, again, I feel like will get us Groundhog Day, and will still keep us small, and will still keep us maybe in chronic illness and all the other things that the body is
Yep.
telling us that we're not in alignment with. So being in alignment, or getting to that being in alignment, is challenging. It needs courage. It will be chaotic. One of the other things, Robert and I, we picked some cards today, and we got something that said uncomfortable chaos if left unattended. And so that, that's a great, it's a great way of thinking about it. So it is honestly about where we're looking just from the lightness into the dark, shining the light on the dark, as you want to call it, that analogy, to find out what I was avoiding, what am I denying myself in all this. I always think the first and foremost, it's forgiving ourselves. It's the self, like a self-examination, a self-exploration. And that means we can then start forgiving other people. That is not condoning whatever they've done, but it's letting go of that dark energy, to be able to just move forward, and move
Yeah.
forward in, really towards alignment. What is your soul calling out for you to do, and what are you denying? Some clients I've had recently, and it feels so much in the in the collective at the moment. So many of you out there, starseeds, light workers, healers, however you want to describe yourself, somebody who's retired, many retired teachers, I still think have a beautiful opportunity to help the next generation, and to not be suppressed. Many of you have an inkling to write a book. And I'm going to tell you right now, do not deny that. Do not avoid that. Feel into that and write that book. You are very much needed. So we might think there's a lot of people writing books right now, and everybody's writing them. I'll be in competition. There is never, ever any competition in spirituality, in this world, in our multidimensional selves. We all if you've had that calling, there is a need for it. There is a need for all of you out there who have something bigger to give. And this is where me and Rob just want you to say like us, you just never give up. Never give up with the,
Yeah.
what you believe in, what you feel inside you needs to come out and tell everybody and help everybody with. Yeah.
Yeah. Denial and fear are on the same axis. So we
Yes.
deny things because we're scared of them.
Yes, of
And we
course.
don't know how to deal with our own truth sometimes.
Yeah.
So the more you uncover about yourself and what you need to do in this particular life path, the harder it can be to go, oh, I can do that,
Mm.
because it's easier to go, that's not true. I can't do that. I don't need
Yes.
to do that. It's all the same algorithm, as it were, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just, I won't do that because actually, if I scratch the surface, I'm scared of what I might see.
Yeah. Oh,
So if
yes.
you write
Yeah.
that book and you put out that book, I'm scared of what that book might say to people, or what response it might get, or will I fail? Will my
Yeah.
book not
Failure.
find a publisher? Will I
Mm.
spend money on it and it'll go nowhere and I've wasted my time and it's
Mm.
just been a failure? It's all fear based.
It is.
So hard as it is, we do have to confront fear
Yeah.
and denial in the same sentence, and we have to press forward. So if that book is going to fail, what is failure? What are the
Hmm.
parameters of failure, and where did you get that conditioning?
Mm.
Uh, your book won't fail. Your book might not have the readership you wanted. It might reach one person who really needed it,
Yeah.
or hopefully 1,000 people who really needed it.
Mm.
But if you don't write it, you don't reach out.
Mm.
You don't
You
spread
won't
the
know.
message. You don't help.
Mm.
And that's key, is that we are all here to help each other
Yeah.
on our path. So just look at fear, and look at fear respectfully, because it's a real thing
Mm.
and it's not something you should be ashamed of or shy of. Talk to people about it. Yeah. If you want to write that book, oh, I'm scared. Talk to someone who's written a book, or talk to someone
Yes.
who also wants to write a book, and find out what you're afraid of. We were slightly afraid of doing this podcast way back
We
when.
we were, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
and it took us a couple of weeks to go, well, let's just do it and put a
Yes.
date in the diary and get on with it and learn how to use microphones and things.
Yes.
But, apart from a few slightly hysterical early podcasts, we've, we love this niche.
I love
We're
doing
happy
it.
in it. It works for
Yeah.
us. And we believe that slowly and slowly and slowly we are reaching people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are probably occasional Tuesdays when we record, Julie, that you and I think, oh, what now?
Yes,
But
exactly.
after 10 minutes
Yeah,
together, we're off, all right, how much can we actually get in today? Because we've now got too much.
exactly.
So it's just plowing forward and
Yeah.
dealing with things as it comes and being kind
Yeah.
and knowing that you have a message to get out. And if people want to hear the message, that's fabulous. And if they don't, absolutely fine.
Yeah. Honestly,
Not
it's
my
that,
responsibility.
yeah, it's that
Yeah.
old saying, isn't it? That, you regret more that you don't do than what you do.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
could easily, because we've been conditioned, sit in with the fear and say, I'm not going to do this, or I can't do this. Or the number of people I hear saying, well, next year, I'll start it next year. And believe me, the guides don't like that. It's
No.
like, why don't you just start now? Why don't you just
Yeah.
take a few notes to write, I'm going to say write a book, but it could be anything, any of
Yeah.
your, whatever your thing that you want to do is, whatever your calling is. Why don't you just start right now? Because you'll never be ready. Next year, you
Yeah.
might not be ready again, and you'll be saying, well, the next year. But no, just start right away. And as Rob said, this is what I feel like. If you need to sit with find somebody else who wants to write their book as well, but you can sit. We do it on Zoom. Rob lives in London. I'm up in sunny East Yorkshire. So we just, you don't even have to make arrangements to get together. Just get online if you want to. What is it? What could happen? What is the possibility that could happen if you get with somebody, or you just work on your own and you work through, you face all the fears, you face what you've been denying, clear it all, and then get on and to do your bit, to do your mission that's going to save the world. Just think of that, how different your life would be if you're just doing your little bit. That's all part of your soul's plan.
Yeah. I don't want to be on my deathbed and think, oh, I wish I'd
Yeah.
done a podcast. I'd like to be on my deathbed thinking, I'm really glad we did that podcast
Yes.
because look where it went
Yes,
and look what it led
exactly.
to and
Yeah.
how amazing was
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, leave go
Yeah.
of the fear, please. Leave go of the denial. And just, yeah, it's a bit like walking through the snow, isn't it? You have to go slowly and put one foot down and
Yeah.
then pick up the other foot and put one foot ahead of you and keep
Yes.
going forward.
And keep
And,
going and keep going. Mm.
there is only forwards, there's no backwards.
No, no.
Yeah,
We
there's
just think we
static, but
have
there's
that
not backwards.
perception. We have that
Yeah,
perception. That old
yeah,
saying, 10 steps
yeah,
forward,
yeah.
10, 20 steps back. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
just a
we all
conditioning.
say that, don't we?
It's a falsity.
Yeah,
We say that. We feel
yeah,
it, but it isn't.
yeah,
It's nothing is failure. The
yeah.
failures make you more successful, trust me, with all the things we've
Absolutely.
done.
So I
Yeah.
hope if anyone's listened to this and they have felt stuck or feel like chucking it in, I'd really like to hear from them.
Mm,
Let us know
yeah.
what's happened to you
Yes,
and
we
how
do.
have you dealt with it? Have you dealt with it? Or are you still
Yeah.
stuck? Is it
Yeah.
something that recurs or is it something you've learned to deal with? Tell us about it.
Mm, yeah. It might just be like us, Nick. We get a good telling
Yeah,
off from our guides in the nicest possible way to keep
absolutely.
going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lovely.
Grand. I
Okay.
think that's the end of this week's podcast.
Yes, it is.
So, anyone who's listening, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like us, don't forget to subscribe. That really helps people find us. The more you like and
Yeah.
more you comment, the more the message gets out there. So we really appreciate your help. But we'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye now.